Biologists explore life across its great diversity of species. We can think of biology's enormous scope as having two dimensions. The vertical dimension, which we examined in this chapter's first two concepts, is the size scale that reaches all the way from molecules to the biosphere. But biology's scope also has a horizontal dimension stretching across the great diversity of species, now and over life's long history. Diversity is a hallmark of life. Biologists have so far identified and named about 18 million species. This enormous diversity of life includes approximately 5,200 known species of prokaryotes, 100,000 fungi, 290,000 plants, 52,000 vertebrates, animals with backbones, and 1,000 insects, more than half of all known forms of life. Researchers identify thousands of additional species each year. Estimates of the total species count range from about 10 million to over 200 million. Whatever the actual number, the vast variety of life makes biology's scope very wide. Grouping species, the basic idea. There seems to be a human tendency to group diverse items according to similarities. For instance, perhaps you organize your music collection according to artist. And then maybe you group the various artists into broader categories such as dance music, party music, exercise music, and study time music. In the same way, grouping species that are similar is natural for us. We may speak of squirrels and butterflies, though we recognize that many different species belong to each group. We may even sort groups into broader categories such as rodents, which include squirrels, and insects, which include butterflies. Taxonomy, the branch of biology that names and classifies species, formalizes this ordering of species into a series of groups of increasing breadth. You will learn more about this taxonomic scheme in Chapter 25. For now, we will focus on kingdoms and domains, the broadest units of classification. The three domains of life. Until the last decade, most biologists adopted a taxonomic scheme that divided the diversity of life into 5 kingdoms, including the plant and animal kingdoms. But new methods, such as comparing the DNA sequences of diverse species, have led to an ongoing reevaluation of the number and boundaries of kingdoms. Different researchers have proposed anywhere from 6 kingdoms to dozens of kingdoms. But as debate continues at the kingdom level, there is more of a consensus that the kingdoms of life can now be grouped into 3 even higher levels of classification called domains. The 3 domains are named bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. The first 2 domains, domain bacteria and domain archaea, both consist of prokaryotes, organisms with prokaryotic cells. Most prokaryotes are unicellular and microscopic. All the eukaryotes, organisms with eukaryotic cells, are now grouped into the various kingdoms of domain eukarya. In the era of the 5-kingdom scheme, most of the single-celled eukaryotes, including the microorganisms known as protozoans, were placed in a single kingdom, the kingdom Protista. The recent taxonomic trend has been to split the protists into several kingdoms. In addition to these protistine kingdoms, the domain eukarya includes 3 kingdoms of multicellular eukaryotes, the kingdoms Plantae, fungi, and animalia. These 3 kingdoms are distinguished partly by their modes of nutrition. Plants produce their own sugars and other foods by photosynthesis. Fungi are mostly decomposers that absorb nutrients by breaking down dead organisms and organic wastes, such as leaf litter and animal feces. Animals obtain food by ingestion, which is the eating and digesting of other organisms. Unity in the diversity of life. As diverse as life is, there is also evidence of remarkable unity, especially at the molecular and cellular levels. An example is the universal genetic language of DNA, which is common to organisms as different as bacteria and animals. And among eukaryotes, unity is evident in many features of cell structure. How can we account for life's dual nature of unity and diversity? The process of evolution, introduced in the next concept, illuminates both the similarities and differences among Earth's life. 1. How is a mailing address analogous to biology's hierarchical taxonomic system? A mailing address is analogous to biology's hierarchical taxonomic system, in that both involve a hierarchical structure with increasingly specific categories. Just as a mailing address includes a country, state, city, and street address, the taxonomic system includes domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. 2. What is the key difference that distinguishes organisms of domain eukarya from the other 2 domains? The key difference that distinguishes organisms of domain eukarya from the other two domains is the presence of eukaryotic cells, which have a true nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. In contrast, the domains bacteria and archaea consist of prokaryotic cells, which lack a true nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles.